To start social ROI, to be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, we're coming up for a 1 year anniversary next week. I think mainly we just wanted to get the Managed Flitter name out there and just better like build relationships with our customers, our audience, and hopefully from our point of view, sort of get inside their heads and find out what products they're using, what tools they're using, how they're using them, why they like certain things, and then learn from them so that we can implement it into managed social as well. So it's been really good. Like it surprised me when I first started. I was like, oh, I'm not too sure what this Twitter chat thing's all about, and now I really like them. I think they're great. I've met a lot of great people through Twitter, and joined all sorts of different chats and had opportunities like this to talk on podcasts, and it's just been really good. Um, great for a managed flitter and like exposure as well. So yeah, that's sort of the journey for social ROI.
Okay, and so of course how can hosting a Twitter chat or basically participating in a Twitter chat can help an entrepreneur or a business per se?
So Twitter chats are an opportunity to log in and chat with other like-minded people or people who know more than you. So if you're an entrepreneur and you want to learn about, let's say, social media marketing, then you could jump on the social ROI chat and find out how you can improve your return on investment using social media. And so everybody in the chat's talking about the same thing. We have different topics every week. And you can just learn so much as an individual or a small business. Not to mention as well, like you can meet people who give you further opportunities, who give you business. Like it's just sort of a never-ending cycle. I think it's really worth putting the time into networking. And and from a personal point of view, I mean, a lot of entrepreneurs when they're starting out are very busy. And there's lots of networking events that you physically have to attend, but for a Twitter chat, you just have to log in. You don't have to even leave your desk. So I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. So of course now live streaming has basically become the norm now in a lot of ways.
Mm.
So how important is live streaming to your point of view?
I think it's still growing, to be honest. Even from my point of view, I do watch some live streams, but they're not the first thing that I go and look at. So if I log into Facebook, I'm sort of just scrolling through my newsfeed as I used to. Um, but I will click on the occasional live stream and stuff, and they end up being very valuable. So I think it's just a matter of time before people kind of adopt and get used to watching these live videos and understanding who's behind the businesses that are hosting them. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of potential. It gives a personal touch to everything, very transparent for businesses. And as well, I think I read recently 80% of people would rather watch a video than read something, um, especially people on social media. So I think it's going to be good. I think it's gonna really take off. And I mean, the other thing as well is like it's evergreen. So even for example, even if someone's not watching this video right now, it's still going to be on your Facebook page and people can come back and watch it at any time.
Okay, all right. So can I play a little advocate here because I know that you guys host your own podcast as well. So, I mean, I know a lot of people. I know that video is still gonna be the main thing for all internet activity. But what about podcasts? I mean, because I know that a lot of people listen to podcasts as well, and it's not
Yeah.
as more competition. It's less competition per se than say video. So why can't podcasting be like one of the main vehicles for entrepreneurs?
I think it could be. I think it could be. I mean, podcasting, as you said, it's becoming more popular, definitely. I mean, and even if you look now at the amount of tools that are out there to help with podcasting, um, even I know at the moment, Apple, so when you upload your podcast onto Apple, iTunes, sorry, then the analytics behind that, there's hardly any analytics to get any insight into who's listening or how long they listen for. But they are building that. So I'm thinking that's coming out this year in 2018, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that, because one of the big problems we have with the Monkey Podcast is just not getting enough analytics. And I think the fact that Apple are actually building this tool is saying a lot to like where podcasting is going, how popular it is, why people are listening to it. And like, business people, entrepreneurs, they're going to need it. They're really going to need it if they're going to take on a podcast. So yeah, I mean, I think it has a lot of potential, especially like with mobile devices now, and it's nice to listen to something other than music sometimes.
Okay, and of course now you're now based in Whistler, Canada at the moment. How has social media helped you to keep an open line of communication with your bosses who manage who who runs managed Flitter?
Yeah, really well. We use Slack internally, and so that makes it super easy just to message each other. We've also started using Appearin for like video meetings, and we've got like you can hook it into Slack, so there's like little shortcuts you can do to start the video calls and stuff like that, which is really handy. So yeah, Slack's made a huge difference between like opening that communication line. Plus the time zone's not terrible. So 9 a.m. in Sydney is about 2 p.m. here. So I have the morning by myself, and then the afternoon everybody's online. So it's basically like working in Sydney in the afternoon. But yeah, no, it's been really good. It's been really good. I mean, Twitter obviously helps as well. Everybody's on Twitter quite a bit because the whole products are on Twitter. But yeah, no, I would say that. And there's emails and stuff as well, a little bit of Skype. But really, I just have to credit Slack.
Okay, and now of course, diving a little bit deeper, this is like your first year living in a foreign country, and and being away. So, how has first of all, what led you to decide to make that leap to living overseas, and why you think entrepreneurs or anyone should give it a shot of spending a year or even more in a foreign country?
So what led me to come over here was I've just always really liked Canada. For some reason, I can't even remember why I had a bee in my bonnet to go to Canada. Um, but ever since I was like, at least 16, my auntie would give me like little travel guides to Canada for Christmas and all this stuff because I just always wanted to go to Canada. And in 2015, I did a Kentucky, which is just like a young person's bus tour type thing. And I did a lot of traveling. I did New York, I did East Coast Canada, West Coast Canada, Alaska, and then I went back home. So I got a taste of different parts of Canada and mostly the highlights, which is sort of the nature of the bus tours. But I really liked the West Coast, so I knew I wanted to come back here. And then, yeah, and then I kept working and saving up and got a few things in line at home. And then I was like, you know what, I really want to go and live there. And I applied for my visa and I got it. And I had a chat to Kevin, who's the boss of Managed Flutter. And he thought about it for a bit and he came back and said, yeah, look, we'd rather you keep the job and work remotely than quit. I said, oh, well, thank you, because I really like the team. I love working for Managed Flutter. So yeah, it worked out really well. And so yeah, I think it's been great. That's how I ended up here. I would recommend it in the sense that it's working remotely. If you haven't worked remotely before, it's a whole new ballgame. It's changing, it's a lot of discipline. You've got to have the time, make sure you put the time into your day, but have the discipline to work, but also have the discipline to switch off. because you can just stretch your workday out forever, and you may take a couple of hours off to do something, and then you come back and you think, oh, I'm going to replace those hours, and you do, but you might replace them and more, and you end up working ridiculously long days, which is not healthy either. And I've done a lot of reading and stuff about remote work. But yeah, it goes both ways, and I'm finding a good balance. And the flexibility is amazing. So sometimes if I want to do something in the morning, if I want to do a quick ski or something like, something fun in the morning, for a few hours I can, and then I'll start my day a little bit later, and I'll be online for when everyone on Sydney's online, and I can work a little bit later into the night to make up for that.
Okay, and now sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
No, go ahead. Finish what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So yeah, I just think it's a huge learning curve. There's a lot to learn from like a work and career perspective, working remotely, but it's fun. And if you go to a new place, like it's a whole new culture to learn. You make a lot of new friends. You have to put yourself out there, which is sort of a bit of a challenge sometimes, because if you're sort of like me, like working at home and doing your own thing, and then after a while, like, okay, I need to go out, I need to meet people and socialize, and it sort of pushes you outside of your comfort zone, which is really important, I think.